I know a good amount of the guys on the team. I have a couple close friends, so I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Anybody that also went to Suffield?
No one that went to Suffield, but a lot of guys that played in like the same league as Suffield, so we got a little relationship there.
Is that something you're excited for? Because I'm sure most of the teams you're playing in the ACC, you're not seeing a lot of guys.
Yeah, exactly. There's not as many guys or like around from the same area or just that I really even know that much. But yeah, I got an opportunity to play a lot of guys I've known for a few years or even since like middle school and stuff. So I'm excited for that.
Is that a lot of pressure for you to be the only guy with the scouting report on these guys?
I mean, no, not really. No.
You spread the word about just guys up there ask you what's it like, South Carolina?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm always telling people back home and everything, and just from the north that don't get to experience this, I'm always bragging about South Carolina and Clemson.
Out of high school, out of Connecticut, Massachusetts, how many people know what state Clemson's in?
Not too many. Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of them people thinking it's in Florida and don't really know. They just know it's down here somewhere. But yeah.
Coaches actually in the recruiting, they've moved the footprint up north to where you're at, and they've actually got into New Jersey and a few other places. Do you expect yourself to be one of the hosts on these upcoming visits? In the spring?
Yeah, I'm sure. Kids? Yeah, I'm sure. I'll be a good host for guys coming from the north because I'm experiencing it firsthand. So.
Boston College has always had a reputation for having a real tough physical offensive line. Is that something that you really look forward to as a defensive lineman playing against? Yeah,
definitely. You look forward to the challenge, and historically they do always have a good O-line, and it's just tough and everything. So I'm ready for the challenge, excited for the challenge.
Boston College having a top-ranked defense, how much pressure does your defense feel to kind of win the defensive battle this week?
I mean, well, we understand that that Boston College has a great defensive unit and everything, but we have to bring our A game really just to make it easier for the offense and put us in a good position to win this game.
Do you relish the fact that this is a game that could come down to which defense is better?
I mean, yeah, you're excited as a competitor and as a guy on the defense. You want to do all you can. Just me personally, I'm up for the challenge. I'm excited for the challenge for sure.
Certainly, you've been watching their offense, but have you watched any of their defense?
Not really, not so much.
Talk about having fun. When I watch these games, I see you out on the field. You seem like you're having a good time. You're always the first one out there to congratulate somebody that's coming on and off the field. And when you're on the field, you seem to be very animated. You having fun out there this year?
Yeah, I really am. I mean, it's football, and it's a great time always, and especially when we're winning and everything. It's nothing better than that feeling, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like I feed off the players when they're doing well, and I try to give them something to feed off when I do something, or when, I just really get excited. So.
Also, your pregame warm-up ritual. You're the first guy I see come out every day, and you get into a good sweat. And by the time you walk back in the locker room to put on pads, you're already sweating like you played 3 hours. Talk about that and what that is all about.
Well, that's just all part of my preparation, just to make sure I'm ready. I just like to be real loose and make sure, like you said, I got a good sweat going, and I just feel good about everything and all that. And even try to catch a few balls or something. You never know when you're going to have to do that, so.
I know you guys don't want to give up points ever, but does it mean more that Wake Forest shut these guys out and Florida State shut these guys? You know what other teams in the league have been able to do against this offense.
Right. Well, you always you never want a team to score against you and everything. So, our goal every week is to shut someone out and leave, and have them. But it's definitely like something we could do as a defense. So it's a goal for us this week.
Were you at the BC game last year?
What was that?
Were you at the Boston College game last year?
I was not.
Speaking of having fun, you told me last week that you enjoyed playing in the hurricane and that weather.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was, of course, wet again on Saturday. Are you open for another rain game?
I mean, yeah, if there's any precipitation, it's going to be fun, But yeah, I'm up for anything, any type of conditions or anything.
Christian, the snaps you've gotten, who's been typically next to you at DT?
Oh, at the other defensive tackle. I'm in there a lot with Pagano and Carlos as well, mostly. So.
Is that a better just complimentary? Because I guess when the coaches said that your game mirrors Carlos a little bit more. So is that a good combo with you and Scott?
I definitely feel like it is for sure. Like we get it. We do a pretty good job out there together. And we complement each other pretty well. So.
Did you ever expect to be this big of a part of the defense?
I mean, well, yes, because I felt like I was prepared for it. I mean, I came in with the mindset that I was going to play, and it's really just like no pressure or anything at all for me right now. And it's really not a shock because all the players who were older than me did a good job of getting me mentally ready, as well as the coaches, and just coming in. I just wanted a big role to be able to help the team. So
this defense was #1 last year. it's gone pretty well. You guys are 13th right now. Do the older guys, is that part of the locker room talk?
I mean, we don't really talk about it as much, like just we just know we want to be a great defense and we want to do as best we can, and we're not really thinking of it like, okay, we're at this number right now, we got to do this to get better, but we're just thinking just shut teams out, just do all you can to keep them out of the end zone, no yards, nothing. So.
Defense, you guys kind of talked before, like Louisville and Georgia Tech, about how these are teams that had lost games. You felt like you're going to get their best shot because they're desperate for a win. When you're going against a team like Boston College that's had so much trouble on offense, do you feel the same way if it's a team that's going to want to prove something this week?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they just had a really tough loss last week that they honestly should have won that game. And we're going to, right from here on out, we're going to get every team's best shot for sure. Like, I mean, with the success we've had so far and just every team, we're not going to get any team's B game. We're going to get every team's A game. So,
talk about the different defenses or offenses you're going to face. You've seen 3 spread teams. You've seen 2 option teams. You're going to see a pro style team that lines up 3 tight ends a lot, and comes right at you. How do you prepare mentally for the
just this week? We're going to have to be tougher because they're going to run a lot. They're going to come at you and everything. So, we're just going to have to be tough as far as the defensive line. We're just going to have to stay lower. And just mentally, try to and just throughout practice and everything, make sure we're getting mental reps and try to just focus on the little things like staying low and pad level, things like that. So.
Last week, when you guys gave up points, it was on the big pass plays, and I'm sure a lot of that was looking in the backfield because you got a team that runs predominantly.
Right.
It's not the same animal, but it's the same kind of predominant running team. Is that something that you can kind of get better at the second time around?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely for sure. We know what we did wrong now, looking back at the film and everything like that. We know what we did wrong against Georgia Tech, so now we can definitely correct that and get that better for this week, for sure.
Clearly you handled the transition becoming a student athlete in college pretty well, but is it a little bit easier having off of classes while you're preparing for the games?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have that, but I still got a lot of work and everything too, so I'm still trying to get all that done. But it's definitely nice to just not necessarily have to be in class for a couple of days as much. So the preparation is a little different this week. We'll get a little more a little more free time to watch film and things like that.
Well, we've asked you about Coach Sweeney's dancing. What about his rant the other night?
Oh, well, I mean, for the most part, I agree with him. I mean, I felt like there's nothing wrong with what you said or anything like that. I mean, we work hard. That really shouldn't be a phrase used anymore. So.
Have the veteran guys almost been more happy about it than maybe say a freshman, just because they've been around a long time? They still haven't had that problem happen.
Right. Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe they were a little bit more tired of it?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure. A lot of the older guys might have that edge. It's not going to happen to us. We're not going to be that team, but we're not really necessarily thinking about it. We're just thinking about going out there and winning every game and doing the best we can.
Do you feel like you guys are walking around with a chip on your shoulder? Some of the older guys, Ben and J-Ron, seem to be a little perturbed at times, and they're getting a lack of respect.
Right.
And does the defense as a whole, you guys feeling that, walking around with a chip on your shoulder, is that helping out?
I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit, because we understand that we just know that how good we can be as a defense and everything, and that's just our goal. So and we're not the best defense yet, but that's where we want to be for sure. So there's definitely from a lot of older guys a little chip, and they're playing with a little nastier, a little meaner, and everything like that. Not necessarily just because that's the type of players they are too. Like you said, Ben and J-Ron, those are just tough guys who want to do everything for the team that they can do to win. You know what I mean? So that's just the type of people they are.